The Afghan Hound is from Afghanistan, but little is known of his early history or how long he's existed. A drawing of one of the dogs sent home by Thomas Stewart Broughton while he was in India in 1809 was published in a book of letters in 1813, so the breed has certainly been around for more than 200 years and likely very much longer. Studies of the canine genome indicate that the Afghan descended from one of the oldest types of dogs. The dogs in Afghanistan were found in several different times depending on the region they were from. Dogs from mountainous areas were more compact with darker, heavier coats, while desert-dwelling dogs were more rangy with coats that were lighter in both color and volume. They were used to course fast-running games such as deer and antelope, as well as hares, wolves, and jackals. Hunting in partnership with falcons, they flushed quail and partridges for the falcon to bring down or for the hunter to shoot. British military officers brought the dogs back to the west after being posted to the India-Afghanistan border, and the dogs unfortunately died out in Europe during the World War I because food shortages limited the breeding and keeping of dogs. But breeding began again in 1920 when some desert-time Afghans were imported to Scotland by people who had been stationed in Balochistan. Some of the mountain-type dogs were sent from Kabul to England in 1925. During the same decade, Americans imported some of the Afghans from Britain. A tax collector named Louis Doberman needed a guard dog to keep the money he carried safe from thieves. To create the intelligent, reliable guard dog that he had in mind, he crossed short-haired shepherd dogs with Rottweilers, black and tan terriers, and German Pinschers. Before long, he was producing dogs of a distinct type. The first Doberman Pinschers, as they become known, were seen at a dog show in Erfurt, Germany in 1897. 3 years later, the breed received official recognition as a German breed. During World War II, the United States Marine Corps used Dobermans in combat as sentries, messengers, and scouts. Dobermans are also seen in archival footage on Okinawa, one of the bloodiest conflicts in American history. The Doberman has a fearsome reputation, but the secret that has made him one of the AKC's most popular dog breeds over the years is his devotion to and love for his family. The Afghan Hound is aloof and dignified except when he's being silly. Aloof doesn't mean shy. He should never be afraid of people and is usually not aggressive towards them. He takes his time getting to know people outside his family. People who are fortunate enough to be allowed into a circle of friends will experience a dog with an exuberant nature and a wicked sense of humor. Afghans do everything to extremes. They're drama queens of food thieves, bossy, and mischievous. They have a high prey drive, and although they may get along well with cats they were raised with, outdoor cats should fear for their lives when the Afghan springs into action. The Afghan is an independent thinker and is happy to do what you ask as long as that's what he wanted to do anyways. He's highly intelligent and learns quickly, but he won't always respond to your commands or better yet, requests. He's thinking about it. Maybe he'll do it later, or not. This can make him frustrating to train and even more frustrating to compete with. Afghans have done well in sports such as agility and lure coursing, but only when their people have extreme patience, a never-ending sense of humor, and a good command of positive reinforcement techniques to lure him into compliance. The sport in which the Afghan excels, of course, is the lure coursing. If you're able to let him participate in this activity, you'll be rewarded by the sight of his breeding and heritage in action. Before we continue, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button as it would mean a lot. Thanks. The Doberman's qualities of intelligence, trainability, and courage have him capable of performing many different roles, from police and military dog to family protector and friend. The ideal Doberman is energetic, watchful, determined, alert, and obedient, never shy or vicious. That temperament and relationship with people only occurs when the Doberman lives closely with his family so that he can build that bond of loyalty for which he is famous. A Doberman who's left out in the backyard alone will never become a loving protector, but instead a fearful dog who's aggressive towards everyone, including his own family. Never do that to your dog. When the Doberman is loved, socialized, and trained, there is no more wonderful companion. In Afghan Hounds, health problems can include hip and elbow dysplasia, juvenile cataracts, and bleeding disorders such as von Willebrand disease. Ask the breeder to show evidence that both parents have been certified free of juvenile cataracts by a veterinarian and have a hip evaluation of excellent, good, or fair from the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals. For an Afghan to achieve CHIC certification, he must have Orthopedic Foundation for Animals OFA or PAN-HIP certifications for hip, an OFA thyroid evaluation, and an eye clearance from the Canine Eye Registry Foundation. One of the most serious breed-related health problems in the Doberman is cardiomyopathy, which causes an enlarged heart. An annual heart exam is critical in catching this condition early on, and no dog with the disease should ever be bred. Nor should any Doberman be bred without a comprehensive heart examination by a board-certified veterinary cardiologist and OFA certification within the past year. The sad reality, however, is that a dog who tests fine one day can develop heart disease the next, and the puppy of two parents without heart disease can still develop it. Another breed-related condition affecting the Doberman is cervical vertebral instability, commonly called wobbler syndrome. It's caused by malformation of the vertebra within the neck that results in pressure on the spinal cord and leads to weakness and lack of coordination in the hindquarters and sometimes to complete paralysis. Dobermans are also prone to the bleeding disorder known as von Willebrand disease, as well as hypoadrenocorticism or Addison's disease. The Doberman Pinscher Club of America participates in the Canine Health Information Center, a health database. Before individual Dobermans can be issued a CHIC number, breeders must submit hip, heart, and thyroid evaluations from the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals (OFA) and eye test results from the Canine Eye Registration Foundation. The Afghan Hound has long, thick, silky hair with a fine texture. The coat does not need to be clipped or trimmed, and the dog wears it in all its glory. The finishing touch is a top knot of long, silky hair. Grooming is an essential part of living with an Afghan Hound. Plan to brush and comb the Afghan Hound's thick, silky hair 3 times a week to prevent or remove mats and tangles, and bathe him as needed. You may want to invest in a professional dog blow dryer if you bathe him frequently. The Afghan sheds moderately. The more often you brush him, the less hair you will have falling off the dog and onto your floors, furniture, and clothing. Grooming is a breeze. Brush the Doberman with a slicker brush or hound's glove every week, or even just run a wet towel over him. On the days he needs a bath, use a dog shampoo, not a human product. Rinse thoroughly and let him shake dry or towel dry him. The Doberman sheds moderately. Regular brushing will help keep him and your home neat. As with any dog, brushing before a bath helps eliminate more dead hair, which leaves less hair to shed. Your vacuum cleaner can work longer if you brush your Doberman regularly. Alright guys, which one do you think you'll get? Tell me down in the comments.